Have you ever felt powerless despite all your achievements? Now picture Alexander the Great, the man who had vanquished vast lands on his deathbed, his once lively eyes obscured by the specter of death. He had been a soldier, a ruler, a myth, his triumphs permanently inscribed in the historical records. But as the certainty of his imminent death overshadowed, his riches, his soldiers, his razor-sharp sword, all appeared useless. The formidable victor with his colorless face was helplessly anticipating for his spirit to depart from this world. He gathered his generals, their expressions carved with grief, and spoke in a voice barely louder than a whisper. "I 3 wishes. Fulfill them unfailingly." The room was dense with a tangible silence, the enormity of the circumstances pressing down on every heart present. And as death neared, he expressed his ultimate desires to his faithful generals, his voice nothing but a faint murmur against the hushed fear pervading the room. This is a tale about the insignificance of wealth and power when confronted with death, and the profound wisdom that Alexander disseminated in his last moments. Stick with us as we unfold the touching moments of Alexander's final wishes and the lessons we can garner from them. Alexander, the man who had commanded armies, now commanded the attention of his generals with his 3 unusual requests. The first wish of the great conqueror was unusual indeed. "My physician should carry my coffin," he said, his voice weak but determined. It was a peculiar request, one that made his generals exchange confused glances. Doctors, after all, were meant to preserve life, not escort it to its final resting place. Yet, as peculiar as it was, the second wish was even more so. "As my coffin is carried to the grave, let the path be strewn with the gold, silver, and precious stones from my treasury," he stated. His generals were stunned into silence. The wealth that Alexander had spent his life accumulating, now to be scattered on the path to his grave? It was an unheard-of request, a display of wealth that seemed unnecessary even for a king, but it was his third and final wish that truly left them speechless. "Let my hands hang outside my coffin," he said, his voice barely a whisper now. The room fell into a profound silence, the generals trying to comprehend the significance of this last wish. Hands, the symbol of a person's deeds, their actions in the world to be left hanging out of the coffin. It was a sight that would surely bewilder all who witnessed it, yet they knew better than to question their king. Instead, they bowed their heads in respect, promising to fulfill his wishes. The room fell silent as Alexander's words, his final orders, echoed in the minds of his generals. A silence filled with the weight of unspoken thoughts and unshed tears, a silence that marked the end of an era, the era of Alexander the Great, But these were not mere whims of a dying man. No, Alexander the Great, even in his final moments, had a lesson to impart. First, Alexander wished his physicians to carry his coffin, a stark reminder of the powerlessness of medicine against the inevitability of death. No matter how skilled the healer, death is a journey we must all take alone, and no doctor can forestall it indefinitely. A sobering lesson in the fragility of life. His second wish, to scatter gold, silver, and precious stones along his funeral path, was not an ostentatious display of wealth, but a stark illustration of the futility of earthly riches. Despite his vast treasury, not a single coin could accompany him to the grave. A potent reminder that amassing wealth is but a temporary endeavor, and we cannot take our riches with us when we depart from this world. Lastly, Alexander wished for his hands to be displayed outside his coffin, empty as they were when he entered this world. A powerful symbol of our mortal journey. We arrive with nothing, and we leave with nothing. All our victories, all our defeats, all our joys, and all our sorrows, they all amount to naught in the face of the great equalizer, death. So what then is the true measure of a life well lived? It isn't in the gold we amass, nor the victories we celebrate. Rather, it is in the good we do, the lives we touch, and the love we share. These are the only things that endure, the only real treasures we can claim. And so, even as he lay dying, Alexander was still the teacher, his life and death a testament to his wisdom. This tale of Alexander's final wishes is a poignant reminder to us all. A reminder to focus on what truly matters in life, to cherish each moment, and to live not for material wealth but for the lasting legacy we leave behind. Alexander the Great, a name that echoes through history, left an indelible mark on the world, not just through his conquests. His legacy extends beyond the borders of the empires he built, reaching into the realms of wisdom and enlightenment. As he lay on his deathbed, he imparted 3 profound lessons that would ripple through the ages, touching the lives of countless individuals. The impact of these lessons on his generals was profound. They bore witness to the humility of a great king, understanding that in the face of death, wealth and power hold no sway. This realization transformed them, igniting a spark of wisdom that would carry forward through generations. Beyond his generals, Alexander's teachings seeped into the wider world. His first wish, to have his doctors carry his coffin, illuminated the stark reality that no amount of medical knowledge can overcome the inevitability of death. This lesson serves as a reminder to cherish life and not take it for granted. His second wish, to scatter his treasures on the path to his grave, highlighted the futility of amassing material wealth. It forced people to confront the fact that we depart this world as we entered it, empty-handed. This has encouraged many to shift their focus from wealth accumulation to the pursuit of a rich and meaningful life. Alexander's third wish, to have his hands hanging out of his coffin, was perhaps his most poignant. It underscored the truth that we carry nothing from this world into the next, save for the weight of our deeds. This wisdom continues to resonate in today's society, prompting us to lead lives of virtue and kindness. And so, the great conqueror's final victory was not over lands or people, but over ignorance and superficiality. It was a victory that still resonates in the hearts and minds of those who truly understand the lessons he imparted. Through his wisdom, Alexander the Great continues to conquer, not territories, but minds and hearts, shaping the way we perceive life, death, and the true meaning of success.
What's your next step towards greatness? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to reach new heights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of your dreams.